Let's talk about scientific temperament in India, or what most people would say Western influence, because basic things like gravity are also from the West. Otherwise, before Western influence, people used to just fly. Hey, you got out of the house now, people were just flying. Developing a scientific temper is enshrined in our Indian constitution. According to the Article 51AH of the Indian constitution states that all citizens must develop a scientific temper. We are extremely proud of our cultural heritage, and we should be. Famous people like Vagbhat and Charkha, who were renowned doctors in Ayurveda, who came from the Buddhist tradition, were from India. Then also Sushruta, who was one of the pioneers of surgery, was also from India. Then Aryabhatta, Ramanujan, and many others. These people have been so scientifically ahead of their time, and that's the reason we should be proud about it. But when the faith in our cultural heritage gets blind, that's the time it gets problematic. Science works by questioning things and not just believing in it. If you just believe things, that's faith. And if you are questioning, that's science. Because that's how science works. That's how it has progressed. And we are here till now with this technology is because of questioning. And people tend to go by faith. That's why you see, no wonder people fall for false advertisements like those vibrating belt which is there, which is wrapped around your belly to reduce belly fat. That's not how science works. People just don't want to accept that they're eating a lot and they aren't working out, and that's the reason their weight is increasing. So they will, opt for some weird solutions like these which don't work and waste a lot of money. During this pandemic, you saw crazy amount of misinformation being spread. But why do people believe them? That's what we should be looking at, and what are the possible solutions to it. First one, we aren't very well educated about these things from a scientific perspective. Have some jadi booty and you will just be fine. Not this jadi booty. In our minds, jadi booty is something magical and it's a solution to almost every health problem you have. But that's not how things work. That's the time data comes into the picture. You must trust data and not believe anything blindly. If someone says go jump off the 10th floor and believe that you can fly, I believe I can fly, then obviously you won't fly. You will fall and you will die. Because that's what data shows. Obviously, there can be exceptions. This is not a perfect world. Research has shown that people love simple solutions. For a complicated problem, if there is a simple solution, people are like ekdam fascinated. That's why on WhatsApp you see various kinds of solutions to very complicated problems. If you have cancer, क्या तुमने पानी पिया है? पिया होगा, पर तुमने बहुत पानी पिया है क्या? बहुत पानी पिया होगा, गर्म पानी पिया है क्या? अरे गर्म पानी में दालचीनी डाल के. Water is the cure to all diseases according to WhatsApp. So, piyo pani or jate raho toilet. Then third point, if some big personality is coming and saying things, then it must be true. For example, Luc Montagnier. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for discovering the HIV virus. Now he said that COVID-19 vaccines can cause worse diseases than before, which he proved by showing a graph where when vaccinations are high, that time deaths are also high. And this leads to clustering effect, which means that the amount of information we have in front of us, our general tendency is that we try to make sense out of it. We'll see patterns in the sky. We'll look at it as a dog because we just can't look at it as a scattered pattern. So we'll try to find something in it. So we'll see a dog or a cat, whatever we like. So with very limited information we have, we try to connect those dots and make sense out of it, which is often misleading. So just because someone has said something, you shouldn't just trust that person. For example, Einstein. He spoke about the gravitational waves back in time. But people didn't believe it until now, until they actually proved it. Years of evidence, data and research, and someone just comes and says one line and people's faith in science just crumbles. That's why again everything boils down to data. Then fourth point, sunk cost fallacy, which means that if you invest into something, you'll try to justify it. For example, you bought a movie ticket for a movie which is bad. You will tend to go and watch that movie because just you have bought the ticket, so you want to go and watch it. Or if you buy a guitar that you think you might learn, and that guitar just lies there in your background without you even looking at it again. People heavily invest into certain things and then they will try to justify these things. Then the fifth one is confirmation bias, which means that you will tend to seek out information which suits your kind of thinking because that gives your ego satisfaction. Sixth one, Dunning-Kruger effect, which means that the less you know, it's more likely that you will think that you know a lot. And the more you know, the higher are the chances of you questioning your own thinking. Then seventh one is history. This is not natural for us to go to websites and seek out information. Throughout history, we have gathered information from our near and dear ones. That's how we have got information. So this is very new to us. So if people say something to you, you will tend to trust that person. No wonder WhatsApp is such a huge source of fake news. Garam pani piyo and COVID finish. रहेगा ही नहीं COVID. तुम पियो बस पानी पियो. So, what are the possible solutions to this? Number one, education. Almost every problem on this planet, the solution is education. Second one, question. Anything which is thrown at you, be critical of it. Question it. Keep questioning it. Anytime there is a simple solution to things, don't just trust it. Third one, robust media. High hopes from this one though. But media plays a huge role in conveying information. And when media conveys the right information, that will educate the people in a proper way. If the media is strong and it's not biased, the right information will reach the people and they will start gaining more scientific knowledge. Fourth one, not all research is good. For example, you might just cite a research paper saying something, but certain research papers are very poorly conducted. So you can't trust all those research papers. You have to see the methodology, how they have conducted the research, how many people are a part of that research. There are various aspects to look at. Ultimately, believe data. Jitna zyada data, the better it is. Let's take vaccines for example. For vaccines, trials were conducted on lakhs and lakhs of people and the efficacy of it was decided. And then on the other hand was coronal, on which only 100 participants were there, out of which only 50 got the coronal tablet. And the patients who were selected for this coronal event were asymptomatic. So this bad was the study conducted. So data. Trust reliable sources who have been giving the right information since many years. Wherever there are outlandish claims, just be critical and question it. So be critical. It's not easy, but you have to be. And that's about it. Thank you everyone for watching the video. See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.